Basically, everything Stephen King has ever written has been adapted into a movie, a TV show, or a TV movie. We're shocked that his shopping list hasn't. But we love a top 10, so here's our ranking of his best adaptations. When a deadly plague wipes out most of humankind, the survivors band together into two camps, one led by saintly Mother Abigail, the other by the demonic Randall Flagg. Some of the casting is spot on, like Gary Sinise as hero Stu Redman and Ruby Dee as Mother Abigail. But others, like Molly Ringwald as female lead Franny Goldsmith, don't quite click. Also, remember how this was a big deal at the time that Molly Ringwald did TV? The production values aren't so great, but the whole thing is pretty grisly and captures the novel's themes of faith, survival, and loss. Fun fact, Mike Lookinland, who played Bobby Brady, worked on the crew and makes a cameo as Bobby.
Hey, Bobby.
See? The Green Mile was based on a book King published in 6 installments. The story is about a team of prison guards who work on the Green Mile, aka Death Row, and the prisoner who comes to them with supernatural powers of healing. Tom Hanks leads the cast, and the late Michael Clark Duncan earned an Oscar nomination. It's 3 hours long, but holy hell, does it pack an emotional punch. Fun fact, Frank Darabont, who directed this movie, also directed 2 other Stephen King movies, The Shawshank Redemption and The Mist. And he did the first season of The Walking Dead. It's rare that a Stephen King short story ends up being a good movie, since the story usually has to be stretched too thin to fill out a feature. But 1408 is the exception to the rule. John Cusack plays Mike Ensslin, an author and professional skeptic who attempts to spend the night in room 1408 of the Dolphin Hotel in New York, a room where 56 people have died over 95 years. P.S. The dolphinshotel.com reviews suck. As soon as Ensslin checks in, the room begins to wreak havoc on his mind and body. 1408 is actually genuinely creepy, and proof that you should just use Airbnb, because no one's ever died in one of those, right? When a small town is enveloped in a mysterious mist that contains some trippy-looking monsters, a group of people band together in a supermarket and try to survive without killing each other before the creatures get them. Soon enough, most of them start going insane, which is what happens when you're forced to spend days looking at cans of soup. The movie is disturbing, and the ending should come with a Prozac prescription, but it's also incredibly good. Trivia note, director Frank Darabont also prepped a black and white version for home video to recreate that 50s monster movie vibe. Also, look, Andrea, Dale, and Carol. Kathy Bates brought home a Best Actress Oscar for her portrayal of Annie Wilkes, the obsessed and deranged fan who imprisons her favorite author, played by James Caan, in her remote house when she finds him injured by the roadside. Listen, James Caan is good in this, but it's Kathy's show all the way. She's nuts.
He didn't get out of the cock-a-doodie car!
Like full-blown batshit loonball.
You did it! You did it! You did it! You did it!
But oddly, we relate to her because we like romance novels and watching Love Connection. Before he did Misery, Rob Reiner directed Stand By Me, based on King's 1982 novella, The Body. This story of 4 young boys who go on an expedition to see the corpse of another young boy out in the woods is dark, compassionate, hilarious, and moving all at the same time. It's also got great performances from future Star Trek The Next Generation whiz kid Will Wheaton and the sadly missed River Phoenix.
Leeches! Oh my God!
The leech scene and the pie eating contest alone are classics. No one does creepy coming of age like Stephen King. Also, that's totally Jerry O'Donnell.
No, I swear, it wasn't me.
Stephen King hated Stanley Kubrick's 1980 adaptation for a long time, but you can't deny that this movie is great and terrifying. Case in point, this. And this. And this. And this. Oh, sorry, that's just Carol Channing turned into a goat. That's not relevant. Behind the scenes, Kubrick and Shelley Duvall clashed pretty intensely, which might explain why she looks like she's so convincingly losing her damn mind in the last half of the film. If you want to hear some conspiracy theories about how the movie was really about how the moon landing was fake and the genocide of the Native Americans, watch the documentary Room 237. This 1983 adaptation of King's now prophetic novel has always been underrated. Director David Cronenberg managed to compress a lot of the book in a way that actually enriched the story. Christopher Walken gave an Oscar-worthy performance as Johnny Smith, the teacher who awakens from a 5-year coma to find out he can see the future. And as for Martin Sheen's insane politician Greg Stillson,
you're not the voice of the people, I am the voice of the people. The people speak through me, not you.
a quick look at current events will make it clear why this story is all too relevant today. King's first novel was also the basis of the first major feature film made from his work. It's a horror classic. Sissy Spacek was nominated for an Oscar as Carrie White, the outcast teen girl who has an immense and terrifying telekinetic power. While Piper Laurie also landed a supporting nomination as her religious fanatic mother. From its dead-on portrayal of high school drama to the horrifying prom night sequence, the film put Stephen King on the pop culture map. This movie is also notable for giving us dirty pillows as a new nickname for boobs.
I can see your dirty pillows.
Director and screenwriter Frank Darabont's first Stephen King adaptation is still his best and has become a bona fide American classic. Based on the novella Rita Hayworth and the Shawshank Redemption, the movie stars Tim Robbins as Andy, the wrongly imprisoned banker who spends 18 long years at Shawshank Prison, where he befriends the lifelong convict Red, played by Morgan Freeman. Both men are extraordinary, and the story of their long, hard stretch inside, their growing friendship, and what eventually happens to both makes for an incredibly emotional and powerful saga of human endurance. The Shawshank Redemption is not just the greatest King adaptation to date, but something even more rare, a nearly perfect film. Do you agree with our list? Angry that we didn't include Thinner and The Langoliers? Let us know in the comments and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more.